Good morrow, my lovely little ghosts, and welcome to the Dark Orchard. I'm Laura, and this is an Ice 9 Kills video. As I said in my intro, this is an Ice 9 Kills video. More specifically, today I'm going to be talking about their live stream show. And I'm super excited to talk about this because I heard they kill live. So we're taking a break from reacting to music videos because instead of a new music video from Ice 9 Kills, we have a new live show. Basic stuff first, Ice 9 Kills did a live stream show where all the fans tuned in at specific times and got to watch this event. The event was called I Heard They Kill Live. It was a mix of a storyline and a pre-recorded live concert from a show that they performed last year. The show that they performed last year had an amazing crowd. It was nostalgic and heartbreaking all at the same time, seeing all of this pre-recorded stuff that we can't have right now, but it was also wonderful to see them on stage again. So I don't believe this is available anywhere. Like, I don't think you can watch it now, but in case you can somehow, somewhere, this is a spoiler warning. I'm going to spoil the whole live show because it's been weeks, like almost a month, if not a month, since it aired. So I feel like I've got breathing room here to spoil. So let's get into some details. So first off, you could get different tiers of concert tickets, much like when you actually buy a concert ticket. You can get like the regular general admission, or you can get like VIP packages, and there's usually 2 or 3 different VIP packages. With the Ice 9 Kills I Heard They Kill live show, they had different packages for different levels of viewers. If you're a premium psycho on their app, you got an upgrade for free, which was super cool. And the best part about it being pre-recorded was you could watch it, and then you could watch it at a different time, and you could re-watch it, as well as re-watching it when it aired. So it wasn't just like one time airing and that was done. They had different show times. For example, when it first dropped, my power was out. My power was out for like 3 days, but I still was able to log on and watch the show, even though I was 3 days late to the initial group chat. And that's the thing that made it different. I think it was 2 different times that they aired it, just airing it, and both times there was a live group chat. I believe those were the differences. I can't say for certain because, like I said, my power was out. I had no way of watching it. But I think those were the differences in being there when it dropped versus watching it on your own time. But a lot of bands are doing the live show, and of course they're not really live. They're not performing in real time, or at least most of them aren't. Even the ones that seem like they are, most likely are a little pre-recorded, even if it was just pre-recorded that day. Because, you know, sound issues, you don't want to have sound issues happening live. That would suck. And of course the editing, you want it to look good, you want the different camera angles to look good. But the Ice 9 Kills show was way different than the ones that we've seen so far. And with that being said, let's talk a little bit about the plot of their live show. So when you logged on to the concert, you got to see the band, and they were being interviewed by the legendary Bill Moseley. And they were all in their different little Zoom screens, and it was very nice quality. Each one of them were answering different questions, certain things, interacting like the live chat was live, and they were seeing it. I did see a lot of people comparing this show to other live shows, and Spencer was very quick to be like, it's not like the other shows. And it definitely wasn't. And I personally really enjoyed the theatrical element. And what I mean by that is it's a pre-recorded thing and it's a setup. You realize there's a storyline there. And the storyline was so cool because it was like real time, like they were chatting and everything, but one by one the band members started dying, and each one of them was killed by the thing that they use in the band. For example, Pat, the drummer, was killed by a drumstick through the eye, which, by the way, was fantastic makeup. I loved it. I rewatched the video of him taking it off multiple times because it was just so cool. I really want to do like I I want to follow one of Chevy's tutorials. Just point blank, I want to do that for one video. So you might see that in the near future, because her stuff is just so amazing. But that eye prosthetic looked so cool. So cool that he was jabbed through the eye by the drumstick. Like, that was unique. And, you know, the guitarist, there was guitar strings, or like bashed over the head with the guitar. It was really cool to see the different ways that they incorporated the things that they use in the band as the murder weapons. And then, of course, the final victim was Spencer. And Spencer got his throat ripped out, which, again, was a really cool prosthetic. He showed a picture of the prosthetic before it had blood on it, and it was just really cool looking. My favorite moment from the whole skit was they were looking at the chat, and Spencer read that Patrick had been killed, and he grins and looks at the camera and says, "If anyone's gonna kill Pat, it's gonna be me," which I thought was hilarious. Perfectly on brand, really great line. So every Ice Nine Kills show is theatric, and this additional skit tacked onto the live show was no exception. And a real Ice Nine Kills fan will totally understand that and just enjoy the horror comedy that's mixed in with the skit and the live stream. So they also advertised their app in the absolute cutest ways, like a commercial, an intermission while they were figuring stuff out. They would have different glitches, like, it was very, very well thought out and really nicely edited. They'll pop up a message that said reconnecting, will connect when the stream has better connection or whatever, and that was super cool because it made you think, oh, it's like a Zoom meeting, it's crashed. You know, it really drew you in to the theatrics of it all, the facade of the skit. And the moment when the killer, who I believe they called Silence, the killer would glitch, and that glitch was so cool. One of my favorite parts, because the glitch, he was in one spot and then the camera would glitch and then he'd be in another spot closer up. The killer glitched a final time. He glitched from like a little further back in Spencer's place to right up in the camera. And I'll be honest with you, I jumped. It was a bit of a jump scare, and leave it to Ice Nine Kills to put a jump scare in their live stream. And of course, adding Bill Moseley into the mix gave another horror element, but I was not expecting him to die, which was honestly a good surprise. I just was expecting the stream to end with him being confused and mad that all the other people he was interviewing were gone. So one last thing about the actual skit part of the show, and that is Silence, or the killer. It gave like a creep factor, like a modern day social media kind of killer factor to it. So at the very end, we see Pulp fictionally get killed. When we see Pulp fictionally get killed in a shower, and it's very reminiscent of the Psycho shower scene. Spencer has teased a new Ice Nine Kills album, and I wonder if our first single will be a Psycho themed single. It's just speculation. It's just me throwing my ideas out there, but it was very odd that we get this random kill in a shower that's very reminiscent of Psycho, but Ice Nine Kills style. Did it mean something? Was it just something cool that they did? I don't know, but we can toss some ideas. We can toss them into the air, maybe make them materialize. So let's get to the live show, the actual pre-recorded live performance. It made me miss the smell of sweat and fog and the feeling of confetti on my face and the thumpa of the speakers right there at me and the cold metal and the metallic smell of the barricade. Like, it just made me miss all of those sensations. And of course, seeing Chevy getting killed on stage again, it was so... Do I use the word nostalgic here? Like, has it been long enough since we had live shows that I can say it's nostalgic to see something like that? It brings back a big happy. Like, live shows give me a big happy, and seeing that kind of stuff pre-recorded gave me a happy. Because the theatrics, like I said before, the theatrics of an Ice Nine Kills show are what make it unique and different from any other show, any other band. Nothing compares to an Ice Nine Kills performance. And that's what it is. It's not just a show, it's not just a concert. It is an all-out performance with so much detail and so much passion put into every single song. And that's because every single song is a passion project. They're all themed around specific horror films and specific parts of franchises, and it all is very cohesive and it works. One of the songs that they played live was Thriller, and of course Ice Nine Kills did a Thriller cover for the Silver Scream Final Cut. While we're on the subject of the Silver Scream Final Cut, I want to update you on my copy of the Silver Scream Final Cut. I'm apparently never going to get it. Contacted my local post office, and they said that they were going to look into why the package hasn't left the facility since early August, and they were going to look into it. The Postmaster General called me back, said he was still looking at it, and I haven't heard from him since. So, in a last-ditch effort, I contacted Fearless Records, who I've been sending multiple messages to, but I finally went back and looked at an old message where they talked about how they were delayed in shipping because of COVID restrictions, and I responded to that specific message this time, and I got a response. The response basically was, once it leaves our facility, we have no control over it, so contact your post office. I've already contacted my post office, so I've got Fearless Records over here saying they can't do anything, and I've got the post office over here saying we don't know what's happening. So it's lost. It's lost in a facility in Greensboro, and I don't think I will ever receive my copy of the Silver Scream Final Cut DVD, which is really sad, because on the Ice Nine Kills app, they have been talking about it, and it seems like a really, really cool thing to have, and it makes me sad. Makes me want to cry. You can hear my voice breaking, because I really wanted it. I wanted to have that all in one place, because I rewatch those all the time anyway, and it just would have been nice to have the bonus features as well. But I don't know what to do about it. Yes, I'm just out of luck, and it's gonna sit in Greensboro forever. But anywho, Thriller Live, that's what we were talking about. It was absolutely awesome hearing Thriller. Why can't I say Thriller? Thriller live for the first time, like from that band performed live, because it just sounds different when it's live versus the studio version, and it was just a really cool addition to this playlist. And they actually performed 19 songs during this set. 19. Amazing. Which means that at the original live show, they played 19 songs. So let me just read the play kill and tell you what songs they actually did perform. So in Act 1, they played Thank God It's Friday, The Jig Is Up, Savages, Nature of the Beast, The World in My Hands, Communion of the Cursed, A Grave Mistake, Your Number's Up, Rocking the Boat, and Merry Xmas. Then for Act 2, they played Thriller, Hell in the Hallways, Stabbing in the Dark, The Fastest Way to a Girl's Heart, It's Through a Ribcage, Love Bites, Testimony, Me, Myself, and Hyde, The American Nightmare, and, of course, they ended with It Is the End. And speaking, it is the 2-year anniversary of my concussion. The day I'm filming this video is the 2-year anniversary of the day I got my concussion at an Ice Nine Kills show. Appropriate. I still have speech issues. Speaking of the play kill, let me show you this. This is like a little add-on that you could get for watching the live show. So it says play kill instead of play bill, Ice Nine Kills, and then Spencer in the middle, Ricky, Patrick, Dan, and Joe. And then I Heard They Kill Live with the rating, Psychos only. And then up here it tells you about the live show, the Thanksgiving Fest from Worcester. And then the cast is the band. Ricky, Spencer, Dan, Joe, and Patrick. And then the crew, including the gorgeous Miss Chevy. Next, on the back, you get the musical numbers, Act 1 and Act 2, which I just read for you, and an advertisement for the Ice Nine Kills video game for Merry Xmas. Then the back looks like a playbill, Ice Nine Kills, I Heard They Kill Live. The theater kid in me absolutely loves the play kill. So final thoughts on the Ice Nine Kills, I Heard They Kill Live show. It was awesome. I thought it was really well thought out. I loved the skit elements in between the different musical numbers, especially since they did it like a play. Speaking of plays, can we get Spencer to do the Scream musical anytime soon? But because they did it like a play, it made sense that they had the story part and the musical part. The music, of course, didn't go along with the story because it wasn't an actual play, but it made sense that they structured it that way, and I loved the side storyline. You got a once-in-a-lifetime kind of thing where you got to see them perform and then perform. The fake live chat interview was just so super cool. I loved the way that it was done. I loved that they were acting like they didn't know what was happening, and it was just all really cool. I loved like the behind the scenes cameras that looked like security cameras or like footage cameras instead of just being in the room for no apparent reason. So all in all, I think it was a really awesome experience. If you got to experience it too, I want you to tell me down in the comments what you got from it, what you think about it. If you didn't like it, let me know down in the comments. I want to know your full opinion, but please tell me why. Tell me what you were expecting, and tell me if your expectations were met, or if they went overboard like I think they did. I was honestly expecting just a show. I did not expect it to be so well done, and so pieced together, so theatric, so much more than what we came to expect. And yes, it wasn't actually live, but we got something better because it wasn't. It wasn't actually live, but it was killer. It was absolutely killer. So much thought went into all of that. So if you don't talk to me down in the comments about the show, if you didn't get to see it, I want to know what Ice Nine Kills song you want to hear next. Like, I want to know what Ice Nine Kills thing you want next. Say we do get a new album. Say it is still horror themed, because there's so many horror movies out there that he could easily do another album. What movie do you want turned into a song by Ice Nine Kills? I want Idle Hands. And that's because Idle Hands is one of my favorite movies ever. I have a whole wall devoted to Idle Hands things. So I'd love to see Spencer do a song about Idle Hands, because I know he loves Idle Hands too. I know a lot of people have said they want to see Trick or Treat turned into a song, and that would be kind of cool. I'd like to see another Scream song, like maybe a Sydney-centric Scream song instead of a Casey-centric Scream song. I know that I keep begging for him to write a Scream musical, so this is just my way of putting it into the universe that we need more Scream-based music from Ice Nine Kills. But most importantly, I would love a Idle Hands themed song from Ice Nine Kills. That is my number one. That is my top pin. Put a pin in it. Put a pin in the board. We're going to put a pin in the dream wall. Just put a pin in it and hope that it comes into existence, because an Idle Hands song would be so cool. So that's all the rambling that I have for today. This was me discussing the Ice Nine Kills I Heard They Kill live show. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you come around again soon. Say bye. Bye!